Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be continuing into part 8 of What If Broly Was King Vegeta's Son. If you haven't seen part 7, there is a title card where you can go check it out and see what happened in the last part, but today we'll be going into the Tournament of Power saga. What about zamasu? What will the team look like? Who will be the last 2 members that the team needs? How strong has everyone gotten during their training on Beerus's planet? Also, I'm on a Discord server for anyone who wants to join and talk more about Dragon Ball with me and other viewers. Maybe give us some of your own ideas of what ifs, and maybe in the future I could do them. Check the link in the description down below. Before we get into the video, again, I just want to say I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving day with their families and loved ones. I did, and maybe, if y'all had the cash for Black Friday sale, y'all bought something nice. For today's question of the video is from Pokemaster9518. What's your favorite sagas in order? Now, I did make a saga tier for Dragon Ball, and I plan to do that for Dragon Ball Z and Super. So I'm going to say at least my favorite saga for Dragon Ball Z is the Saiyan saga, mainly because of the art style. I like how in Dragon Ball Z the art style kind of evolves per saga, getting better and better. But in my opinion, my favorite one is the Saiyan saga. I like that art style a lot. I like the old time, it's kind of similar to Dragon Ball, and I just enjoyed that. And I did like the story as well. Thank you for your question. If you want your comment to be featured in the next video, just leave it down a comment you would like for me to answer, and maybe you'll be looking up for your comment to be featured in the next video. Without further ado, let's dive into part 8 of What If Broly Was King Vegeta's Son. Where we last left off, Vegeta showed off his new transformation that allowed him to beat Hit and win the tournament for Universe 7. They had a visit from Lord Zeno as he brought up the idea of a tournament with all the other universes. With this idea in mind, all the Z fighters began training on Beerus's planet. Tien, Piccolo, and Gohan all trained together, meanwhile Raditz and Vegeta trained together, and with Broly training with Trunks. As you can tell, the groups are made here based on the path of power that they were all obtaining. Sometimes during their training, Gohan, Broly, and Vegeta would spar to see who is currently the strongest, and it's always between Broly or Gohan, due to their potential, leaving Vegeta always in 3rd place, but this would just motivate him further to grow even stronger. Now here, the Goku Black arc just wouldn't happen, with the main fact that there was no time travel at all in this timeline. Here, Goku died of the heart virus, but thanks to Gohan, he was able to stop the androids here and save Earth without the need to travel back in time. Even if the fact that Zamasu could still hate mortals, especially that of Universe 7 for gaining the power of the gods, I think his hatred for them would be a lot less with the fact that no one messed with time travel here, which I would believe that at least for the time being, Zamasu would not start his Zero Mortal plan. Even if he did in this timeline, he would be stopped rather easily, as he would most likely take Vegeta's body, seeing that he seemed the strongest at the tournament between Universe 6 and 7, but he would then be easily stopped by all the fighters on Beerus's planet, and the fact that there are 2 people stronger than him and there's only one Zamasu here. So really, either it wouldn't happen or he wouldn't even be a threat for our fighters. So for the time being of not being interrupted, they would all continue to train vigorously until one day Beerus and Whis are called to be notified about the Tournament of Power and how they have 2 days to come up with a team of 10 members to participate. At first, Beerus wasn't too worried as he already had 7 fighters on his planet, and then they thought about bringing Nappa. Here though, they are aware of the threat of what would happen if they lost the tournament, so they wanted the strongest fighters, but with the members of the Galactic Patrol and the 3 other fighters on Earth, that being Yamcha, Krillin, and Roshi, they were very outclassed, and Yamcha and Krillin fully gave up fighting. Raditz then got the idea as he went to Whis for a request. Together they left, leaving the others confused, but coming back a day later with 2 fighters, as they are all completely shocked and everyone made silent. Gohan couldn't believe his eyes as he saw his father standing next to Whis. After not seeing him since he was a child, he rushed over to hug his father, shedding tears down his face. But he also saw someone that resembled his father, as it was his grandfather, Bardock. Trunks was stunned as well, as here this is his first time seeing his uncle Goku and grandfather Bardock, only ever hearing stories about them from his father. Raditz gave the idea to Whis, asking if they could bring anyone who is dead, and with Whis being the angel of the universe and with the current situation, he could bend some rules of the other world. They teleported to the other world looking for Goku. He knew his brother, even being dead, would be still training. He was no doubt right, but what he wasn't expecting was who he was training with, that being their father Bardock. During this time being dead, Goku explored everywhere in Otherworld, and with the years he has been there, he would have met his true parents, Bardock and Guinan. They all had their family reunion that even left Raditz to tears. Goku explained how he saw everything that everyone has been doing, and he's always gained the urge to train, and when he found their parents, he began training with Bardock. Together, they pushed each other and grew immensely with the years they had. They mastered Super Saiyan 2 and 3 and even attained Super Saiyan 4 when they saw them achieve it when they trained with Nappa. Goku was interested in the god power but couldn't really learn it himself, so he settled on Super Saiyan 4. Raz would spend time with his family, and after spending a time together all for around a whole day, that is when Whis would bring the three back. Now, having a full team, they still had a day left, so they decided to spend it training and forming a plan, with Gohan being the leader, and still being as smart as he is, he would form a well thought out plan, splitting their team into small groups based on good teamwork skills. Tien and Piccolo, since they had been training together for years, Raditz and Trunks being the father-son duo, and the same with Goku and Bardock as they spent years together in the other world. Vegeta and Nappa more for their similar transformation, leaving Gohan and Broly to be the wildcards, as they won't be in a group but will be hopping around groups or be on their own. Vegeta did not like the plan, as he did want to have a challenge with Broly seeing who could take down more fighters, but he kept to himself, as here everything is at stake and he won't let his pride take over. Remember, this Vegeta was raised by Namekians most of his life. The time came to the Tournament of Power, as everyone was ready and prepared for this fight. Once the tournament started, the group split up with their duo. Here the team being very different, but no doubt a much stronger team overall compared to the canon version of the Universe 7 team. Another plus around this tournament is that Universe 7 is not targeted by the other universes, which will be big for them. Everyone is holding their own pretty easily, trying to save energy, well, besides most of the Saiyans excluding Nappa, Raditz, and Trunks. However, there will be one downside to our fighters being much stronger this time around, with that being Jiren joining in to fight a lot sooner. I can see Goku wanting to try to face Jiren but would struggle to keep up with him, and easily be put aside as Jiren wasn't interested in him, but actually Broly, knowing that he is the strongest from Universe 7, as a battle between the two begins. With Tien and Piccolo, they are met with both the Namekians and Saiyans from Universe 6. Kaba wanted to catch up with his mentor Piccolo, and the Namekians were interested in this Namekian from another universe. Here, Piccolo would have his hands full with somewhat taking the place of Goku teaching these Saiyans the Super Saiyan transformation with the knowledge he has. With the amount of fighters around them, both Tien and Piccolo both go to their strongest transformation. The Namekians from Universe 6 would be taken out rather easily, but Kel and Caulifla would fuse into Kefla, and this fusion is so strong that Piccolo and Tien would need to work together to beat this fusion. With Raditz and Trunks together, they have been fighting together and took most of the fighters from Universe 4 and thought it was a bit too easy, until Raditz let his guard down, allowing Daemon, the small insect fighter from Universe 4, knocking Raditz out of the arena and eliminating him. Seeing what he is up against, Trunks regained his focus to watch out for this small fighter. He closed his eyes using the ki he sensed from Daemon, getting the sense of where he is, and Trunks would shoot multiple ki blasts, destroying the arena and knocking Daemon out. He grew a bit worried about being alone as he tried to regroup with anyone from his universe, but then he would be met with Frost. With Bardock and Goku, together they were managing to take out a full universe on their own with ease. The father-son bond they formed with the many years they have trained together in the other world, they formed a good bond and worked well as a team. Nothing would be a problem for them until they are both hit by a fast purple blur that they barely are able to see who hit them. With Nappa and Vegeta, they were causing huge problems for the other universes with how strong the two are, until someone would step up to them, that being Toppo from Universe 11. Vegeta smiled at the opponent, sensing how strong he is. Seeing how powerful Vegeta and Nappa are, he doesn't hold back, tapping into his God of Destruction form as their fight begins. Gohan would see how Broly is struggling a bit with Jiren, so he would try to help him, but before he could manage to get there, he is then struck and sent flying away. Getting up seeing hit, he remembers seeing him back in the tournament between Universe 6 and 7, so he knows how powerful this opponent is, especially with his special ability. Back to Trunks, he is facing Frost, but he looks very different than what he remembers, as currently Frost is in his final form. Trunks didn't understand why he looked different, but he can tell he is much stronger than what he was back the first time they met. Powering up into his Super Saiyan God form, he didn't let his guard down, knowing the tricks he did to Tien last time. They started to fight, but surprisingly Trunks was handling Frost rather easily. Frost was growing upset by being bitten by a kid. Seeing how angry he was getting, Trunks took it to his advantage, beating him more and more and then throwing him out of the arena. Continuing to try to find someone, as he ended up finding Gohan facing Hit, as he joined in with him trying to fight Hit. Tien and Piccolo facing Kefla was rather difficult for them, even with the two together. They are barely on equal standings with her. They started using more combo moves to try to best her, which was their only advantage against her. Even with their resourceful skills to use against her, it was still a tough battle. Knowing they can't use up all their energy on her, they came up with a plan. Piccolo charged up a Hellzor grenade, surrounding Kefla with Ki Blast. Tien then released a Solar Flare, blinding Kefla, as she is then hit with the Hellzor grenade. Taking this chance while she is stunned, Tien would charge up at her, bringing both of them out of the arena, knocking them out. Piccolo was pretty exhausted as Kappa came up to him not trying to fight, but to ask for a favor. Asking Piccolo if his universe would win, could they bring back his universe. The bond Piccolo formed with Kaba, he made that promise as he had a connection with Kaba, especially after meeting the other Saiyans and Namekians. Piccolo and Kaba would spar, but eventually Kaba would be eliminated. Back to Vegeta and Toppo, their fight rages on, to the point that Toppo did knock Nappa out. Vegeta was struggling a bit facing Toppo with his God Destruction form. Vegeta did decide to push himself even further, as during the time training on Beerus' planet, he reached a new level of power, but he was a bit weary of using it as it does take a toll on his body. But with what is at risk, he had to do it. He powers up further past his Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker form as a blue aura covers his body, powering up into Super Saiyan 4 Blue, keeping the look of his Super Saiyan 4 look with the color of blue, combining both forms of power. With his new power, he easily began changing the tide of the battle as he began toying with Toppo. The pressure emanating from Vegeta was so strong that many fighters who were weak easily fell off the arena. Bardock and Goku were facing up against Dispo. Even with all the training they have done, they still struggle with keeping up with how fast Dispo is. They knew that they were much more stronger than him, but still, it was a struggle and were even growing tired. If they were at full energy, they could have easily taken down Dispo, but that is when they heard Beerus yelling at them as he throws them some earrings, the same ones that Universe 6 Saiyans were using. Quickly, without hesitation, they put on the earrings, fusing it to Bardock, and this new strength, they grew powerful enough to catch up in speed with Dispo. Being able to catch up with him, the fight ended quickly, with knocking Dispo out of the arena. They then looked to see the immense fight happening between Broly, Vegeta, and Jiren. Bardock would then see Gohan fighting Hit alone as Trunks was knocked out. They didn't decide to help, knowing that Gohan could easily defeat Hit on his own. The sense of seeing how strong his son/grandson became, both Goku and Bardock felt proud of their family. Gohan was just in his mystic form fighting against Hit, not wanting to exhaust himself, but seeing Hit's time skip ability firsthand, he knew he couldn't hold back much longer, so he powered up to his beast form, and the next time Hit used his time skip ability, he managed to break through and easily took Hit out of the arena. With the last fighter against Universe 7 is Jiren here, as he's in his full power form, fighting both Broly and Vegeta in their strongest form. Even though no one here has obtained Ultra Instinct, the amount of strength that both Broly and Vegeta has can easily overpower Jiren, especially with the two working together. They would have rather to fight him one-on-one, but with everything at stake, they did not want to take that chance. They take a stance together, similar to what Goku and Frieza did in canon, first being enemies into rivals and now even good friends. Together they rush at Jiren, hitting him with a flurry of combos, sending Jiren flying, as together they both charge up a Gallic gun, shooting it at him full power, and the attack sends Jiren flying out of the arena, and even destroying most of the arena. Universe 7 has won with half of their team still remaining. The Grand Priest would ask what their wish would be, and everyone would be happy to wish back all the other universes, which puts a smile on the Grand Priest's face, and everyone would end up returning back to their universe. The day passed for both Bardock and Goku would be finished, as the Sun family is sad to see them go, but Whis would tap Goku's head, bringing him back to life, this surprising everyone, and they were happy that Goku would be staying. Whis would offer the same to Bardock and his wife, but he would decline the offer, saying that they have lived their lives. But thanks Whis for bringing their son back to life. Now with Goku back to life, he would spend time with his family, and no doubt Chi-Chi is glad to have her husband back after so many years, as now things being normal, everyone would live out their lives and continue training, as Goku knows he has a lot to catch up on. And that's gonna leave it off for now. Tell me how y'all think about the 8th part and how I did with the Tournament of Power saga. What did y'all think about the bringback of Goku and even Bardock? With Goku back to life, how would things change? What would be the next for our Z Warriors? What could have happened differently? Leave your thoughts down in the comments down below. I would love to hear them. If y'all are interested and enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be alerted whenever I post another part. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next part. See ya!